are gathered here to fill you with fear and give you a treat for your ears. As we invade your mind with our scary rhymes and some tales that can be gory. As you bear witness and sit here and listen to our poetic horror stories. Hello, P.H.S crew. Today, we are retelling the Creepypasta story, The Backrooms. We hope you enjoy our poetic rendition.
It was approximately 12:15 when I entered the Johnson County Community Health Clinic. I was there for an appointment I had set up weeks ago for a routine checkup. It wasn't a new place for me. I'd been there a couple of times before. However, the place had an odd, nostalgic feel to it, as if it were a location from my childhood or something. And I could never pinpoint exactly what this feeling was, or where it came from. As I walked in, an overwhelming feeling of deja vu swept over me. The hum of the flickering fluorescent lights, the white tile flooring, the muted beige paint that colored the walls. I noticed that there was a TV mounted in the corner, a smaller flat screen, that was playing a short PowerPoint. The slideshow was a loop of ads and events that were being held by the clinic. I passed the empty waiting area, a small area of the main room with magazines, children's playthings, and blue cushioned chairs. As I approached the woman at the front desk, she was sitting in her bluish-gray office chair, looking at a spreadsheet on the same Windows XP desktop they've had since 2008. There was a sign-in sheet on the counter in front of me. I said, "I have an appointment with Dr. P.H.S.
What time?
The woman said. 12:30, I replied. She began typing something into her keyboard.
Ah, yes.
She responded.
Gary Johnston?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'll tell the doctor. Please fill this out.
She handed me a clipboard which held a simple fill-out form. I walked back to the waiting area, took a seat, and began to fill out the form. I was about halfway done with filling in my information when I slumped back in my chair. I hadn't gotten much sleep the night prior. I was exhausted. As I slumped back, I noticed something very peculiar. My head never hit the wall. In fact, it felt like it went through it.
Hello, PHS crew. We have a question for you. What would you do if you found yourself in the back rooms? Let's start a conversation in the comments below. We are dying to know.
I got up, quite frightened, and looked at the wall. But there was nothing at all. Not a single hole or dent had been made in the wall by my head. So I reached to touch the wall and my fingers went through it. I recoiled in shock. What the hell was that? I thought, as I reached to touch the wall again, only to find my fingers clipped through once more. Then, suddenly, I lost my balance, tripped, and fell directly through the wall. I fell face first onto some dirty, tan carpeting. Upon getting back up, I realized that I was in a completely different room. Well, not really a room, per se. More so a set of rooms, all of which connected by openings. The walls were covered in gross tan patterned wallpaper. There was also an overwhelming stench of moist carpet. I turned back around and tried to put my hand back through the wall, and it wouldn't go through. Okay. What the fuck? I muttered. I looked back into the room. There were no windows, no doors, nothing on the walls. Other than that disgusting wallpaper, of course. It was completely empty, aside from a singular plastic blue school chair. At this point, the only thing going through my mind was fear, and the repeating thought of, "I need to leave," on loop in my head. I started running through the rooms, desperately trying to find an exit, but to no avail. There was no exit. Was this my permanent location until I died? No, there had to be a way out. I wasn't going to be left here, right? Eventually someone would notice that I was gone. But nobody did. I thought I was all alone. In the distance, I heard footsteps, but not those of a human's. At least, not a normal human being. Alongside the footsteps was a gurgling snarl, like that of an angry animal. I began to run. I ran as fast as I could from whatever the hell was approaching me. I didn't want anything to do with it. I ran for what seemed like forever, but I was always back in the same room I started in. At least, it looked like the same room. Not that I could tell them apart. So I sat down, defeated. A feeling of dread filled my body as I started to cry. I thought, this is where I'm going to die. I'm still there. I haven't left. I've accepted my fate. In fact, I can actually hear footsteps. I wonder who that is. Who or what else is here? Did someone new no clip into the back rooms?
Feels right. The homeowner should understand and be glad to hand over the keys. Shit, they would be so moved with my story, they would probably let me move in for free. But if they don't accept my generosity, that's when they will see the other side of me. The Backrooms is a story of a seemingly endless maze of drab, office-like corridors that has captivated and unnerved millions. Because it's a terrifying thought that you can accidentally no-clip through a wall and end up somewhere that's strange, but kind of familiar. You take a moment to think, where is this place? Is it another dimension? Are you in limbo? Is it hell? Or a wormhole to a different world? Who knows? You have so many questions, but no one is around to give you answers. It's funny that a non-foreboding, dull and unassuming office space can make you feel creepy and afraid. But maybe, on second thought, you aren't alone, because you can hear something coming towards you. They become louder as the footsteps run down the hall. We hope you enjoyed our poetic retelling of the Backrooms Creepypasta story. If you did enjoy it, please like, share, and comment. And if you're new, subscribe and become a part of the PHS crew. We would appreciate it so much if you do. Thank you for watching, and we will see you all in our next video.